Films, you know, they're adored by billions of people around the world. But what's fascinating is that some of the most famous ones have some pretty unusual origins. Take Disney, for instance. They've produced some iconic movies, and here are 5 of them that might just surprise you with their origins. Some of these stories, well, they wouldn't have been suitable for kids if they hadn't been tweaked a bit. Let's start with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, when this classic film hit theaters in 1937, it was a massive hit and marked the birth of the Disney Princess franchise. We all know the story, right? Snow White, her wicked stepmother, the poisoned apple, the prince's kiss, happily ever after. But here's the kicker. The original tale by the Brothers Grimm, published in 1812, had a far more gruesome ending. When Snow White bit into the poisoned apple, the prince didn't come to the rescue with a kiss. Nope, he accidentally dislodged the apple by tripping over a branch, and she woke up. Then they invited the wicked queen to their wedding, where she was punished by being forced to dance in red-hot shoes until she dropped dead. Pretty dark, huh? No wonder Disney left that part out. Next up, Pocahontas. Disney's take on this story raised some eyebrows for taking historical liberties. In the film, Pocahontas is an American Indian woman who falls for a British captain against her father's wishes. But the real Pocahontas, born around 1595, had a different story. She was part of a Native American tribe and was involved in the early interactions with English settlers. She did marry a tobacco planter named John Rolfe, but there's no evidence of a romance with Captain Smith as depicted in the movie. Sadly, she died in England at just 21, and there have been suspicions of poisoning, though that's never been proven. Now, onto Rapunzel, or as Disney calls it, Tangled. In the film, Rapunzel is a princess with magical healing powers, kidnapped by Mother Gothel and trapped in a tower. She escapes with a charming thief, and they fall in love. The original story is quite different. Rapunzel's parents steal herbs from the witch's garden, and in exchange, they promise her their unborn child, who turns out to be Rapunzel. There's no charming thief, but there is an encounter with the prince. When the witch discovers Rapunzel's secret meetings with the prince, she cuts off Rapunzel's hair and abandons her in the wilderness. The prince, blinded by thorns, wanders until he finds Rapunzel, who restores his sight. Now we come to Pinocchio. Disney's 1940 classic tells the tale of a wooden puppet who longs to be a real boy. Along the way, there's lying, danger, and a giant whale. But the original story by Carlo Collodi is far darker. Pinocchio is disobedient. He kills Jiminy Cricket, and he endures a series of brutal punishments and abuses that would make your hair stand on end. Collodi even wanted to end the story with Pinocchio being hanged, but publishers balked at that idea. Lastly, there's Winnie the Pooh. This lovable teddy bear and his friends in the 100-Acre Wood are based on real characters. A soldier's bear named Winnie was sent to the London Zoo during World War I. Christopher Robin Milne, A.A. Milne's son, visited the bear and named his own teddy bear after her, which inspired A.A. Milne to create Winnie the Pooh. Behind the whimsy, some have speculated that these characters represent various mental disorders. Pooh with ADHD, Piglet with anxiety, Tigger with impulsivity, and so on. As for Christopher Robin, some believe he might have had schizophrenia, but this is all speculation. Regardless, these characters have brought joy to generations of kids, and that's what matters most. So enjoy these Disney classics for what they are: magical tales that have captivated audiences for generations. See you next week for another video.